Friends, hello to everyone. My name is Zhenya Panasyuk, and I went to live on a completely uninhabited island to challenge myself in survival conditions. And today is my 4th day on this uninhabited island. I wake up early in the morning, not from an alarm clock, and not because the sun is rising, but because cicadas start screaming in the trees. Last night I managed to catch 2 large mangrove crabs. They are the first ones I will cook. It's very convenient to catch them because they don't need a refrigerator. Crabs can be stored alive until I need to cook them. This is an easily accessible, slightly hazardous, but nonetheless useful and very tasty catch. First of all, the crabs need to be put to sleep. Despite their size, they are very aggressive and have a fighting nature. Using my knife, I put the crabs to sleep and thoroughly wash them in the ocean to remove the swamp. These are the kinds of crabs I managed to catch, very big. With a steel plate and dry palm bark, I made fire. On it, I will boil some water. I filled a small pot with ocean water and placed it on the fire. Now, I need to wait until the crabs are cooked. And just 15 minutes later, my crabs were ready. I took them out of the pot and began eating. Well, the juice is delicious, I'll tell you right away. Now you need to break them somehow. The meat is sweet, really sweet, but because I boiled them in ocean water, in seawater, it's just the perfect balance of sweet and salty. Just the perfect balance, friends. It's really delicious. Cool. On the previous island, I caught small crabs that I called spiders. They were smaller in size and their shells were much softer. And it was much easier to get the meat out. These crabs, however, had very tough and hard shells. So, for this, I used either rocks or my knife to break the shell and get the meat out. But these crabs were bigger, and there was more edible meat inside. Super tasty crabs. Just 10 out of 10. I agree with you. After breakfast, I took my underwater hunting gear and dove into the water to hunt a little with a crossbow. I decided not to swim to deep depths, but to hunt in the coral reef. The water here was clean and clear, and in the coral reef I saw schools of fish. I took a breath and descended to the bottom. I held onto a rock with one hand to stabilize myself at the bottom. When suddenly, at some point, I felt a sharp pain in my right shoulder. I turned my head and saw a sea star called the Crown of Thorns. It is one of the brightest and most mysterious creatures in coral reefs. It can grow up to 60 centimeters in diameter and has a huge number of sharp poisonous spines covering its body. These spines serve as protection from predators, but they can also be dangerous to humans, causing intense pain and inflammation when stung. The crown of thorns is a predator that feeds on coral. Its dietary preferences can be destructive for coral reefs, as one such star can eat corals on a square meter of reef in just one day. Massive reproduction of these stars can lead to catastrophic consequences for the ecosystem. However, not all is lost. In nature, there are predators, such as the giant triton, that hunt the crown of thorns, helping to control its population. Here is another such sea star. I felt pain in my right shoulder. I interrupted my underwater hunt and went back to shore. During the day, it's unrealistic to do anything, except maybe underwater hunting in a suit. Why? Because the water is hot and the suit isn't needed. It's needed only for coral protection. But the sun is scorching unbelievably, and if I were without the suit, I'd burn in seconds on my back and legs. So I have no choice. The suit is necessary. Once again, I was engaged in underwater hunting. I lay on the bottom, seeing a school of fish. I waited for the right moment to take a shot, and felt a sharp pain in my right shoulder. In general, something stung me. Or just like fire, it touched me like that. I removed my shoulder from the coral reef. Look, and beneath me lies this very crown. What is it called? The Devil's Crown. In short, one of the most poisonous sea stars, all covered in sharp spines. And it's a good thing I was wearing a suit. One spine just brushed my shoulder, but it seems there's no trace left, no consequences. But if it weren't for the suit, it would have been much worse. Definitely, it's very dangerous, especially when I'm doing underwater hunting alone. Something you should never do. Then I would, as usual, be occupied with daily life on a deserted island, a bit expanding my camp, making it more comfortable, exploring new areas. And also, among the ocean debris washed ashore, I was gathering useful tools and building materials that could help me in constructing my big shelter. In general, nothing special or interesting happened until evening. But after the sun started setting behind the horizon, everything changed. What does that mean, friends? Well, it means it's time for crab hunting. So, I'll catch them now. I'll take a pot with a lid, and then I'll transfer them there for the night. And cook them in the morning, because they'll make noises here. I won't be able to sleep from this drumming. So for now, I'll catch the crabs in the pot. Friends, I see crabs. Look how many of them there are. Wow. Big, running away. Whoop. Whoop. Calm down.
Opa.
Friends, the first crab is caught. I'm holding it very dangerously. Here's the first crab. The first one's caught. I'm very loud. I'm very loud. Big crabs are running away. Let's go check right away. First here. On the tripod already. And here are their burrows. Spines. First, I was hunting crabs. I set up the camera on the tripod and ran left and right, choosing the biggest ones. Friends, look at this monster. Look at its claw. Just look at the size of this. Unbelievable. Damn, I climbed into such spines. Better go back. How did I get here? All the caught crabs were placed alive in the pot. It's very important to keep them alive. Since I don't have a fridge here and the fish spoils very quickly, I cook it first. But these live crabs can stay alive until I need food. I can just open the pot at any time and cook my catch. It's very convenient. Here's the biggest one. Look. Wow, look how big it is. Friends, well, this is a full portion. In the morning, I'll cook them and show you how they look. Wow. After the crab hunt, I took my homemade bamboo spear and dove into the water hoping to catch squids. This time, luck was on my side. Almost immediately, I managed to catch a small cuttlefish. After a precise hit, it released an ink cloud right in front of my face. I removed the catch from the spear and swam on to hunt more seafood. And there, right by the bottom, was another small cuttlefish. I aimed with the spear and was about to shoot when it quickly swam off to the side. Then I raised the flashlight and saw something near the surface of the water. It was a small squid. But I couldn't catch up with it. It turned out to be very fast. And there, by the bottom, was another cuttlefish. I aimed and made a precise shot. This one was a bit bigger. Just look at how it reflects the light from my flashlight and changes color underwater. An amazing creature, but today it's my catch. And there, near the surface of the water, swam another cuttlefish, but very small. It wasn't afraid of me at all. I even managed to touch it with my hand. Well, I'm swimming further. I was shining the flashlight left and right, and also carefully watching the bottom and the surface of the water. Because squids and cuttlefish swim in the water column, you have to watch carefully in all directions. And then, in the water column, I saw a squid. Aimed and made a precise shot. Another catch on my spear. As soon as I removed that squid from the tip, I noticed a small red snapper by the bottom. I aimed and caught that one too. This catch will be enough for me. I'm going back to the shore. So friends, I managed to catch a few squids. First of all, I want to squeeze all the ink out of them. I will need all the ink. Tomorrow you'll find out why. So, this squid is the one I caught. It's small. Another squid. This one is a little bigger. It's just that it's already headless. Oh, this one has more ink. And here's the cuttlefish I caught. It will have even more ink now. It should, at least, I tried to keep it all. Oh look, oh ho ho. Damn, there's a lot here. Great, great, I need to collect it all. I need to collect all the ink. Tomorrow you'll find out everything. By the way, for those who didn't know, this ink is actually very useful. It's used in making expensive pasta. Therefore, it's a natural dye, which is even beneficial for the body if consumed. I'll go wash my hands along with these squids. But all this ink needs to be saved. So, I washed. Now I need to salt everything well. The squid hasn't spoiled overnight, but it won't spoil because the temperature has dropped. I removed all the innards, the ones that spoil first, so nothing will happen to them until morning. And in the morning, I'll cook them. Friends, I've been carrying a small jar of sunflower oil and a pan since season 2 of Shark Island to cook squid rings, but I hadn't been able to catch them until now. So I finally managed like this. And I hide them in the shade. I also caught a small fish like this. I'll remove its innards and put it in salt. And tomorrow morning, the first thing I'll cook is what I caught today. Because it's time to go to sleep. Day 5. Well, friends, it's time to wake up. Rise and shine. Well, first I washed up and did a little workout. Now I'm going to cook the seafood I caught, the ones I managed to catch yesterday with a spear. I'll leave the live crabs and cook them after lunch. But the seafood, when the sun rises and starts warming, won't last long, so now I'll make a fire and cook the squids. I need to wash the dishes. For this, I use water from the ocean, and also ulva, a green edible plant from the coral reef. With this, I'll wash my pan. Thanks to the salt, I managed to keep the seafood fresh until the morning. And for now, I'll put the pan on the fire and add a little vegetable oil. Finally, sunflower oil came in handy, friends. I also had some breading for squid rings somewhere, but on Shark Island, Season 2, I cooked fish with this breading, so it's not here. I thought I had some, but the sunflower oil is still there. Now, friends, I'll show you what the backbone of a cuttlefish looks like. I'm sure many of you have found it on the shore. Look, here. You find it on the shore, or if you have a pet or a terrarium, these cuttlefish skeletons are often sold as a source of calcium for parrots and other animals. This is pure calcium, so the flies have flown in from the smell. I need to quickly put it in the pan. It sizzled so deliciously and appetizingly, and the smell was simply magical. I really love squid rings. And when you catch it yourself with your own hands and cook it on a deserted island, the value of such a dish increases many times over. Friends, and of course, as usual, let's rate this dish from 1 to 10 in the comments below this video. And also write to me who would like to try these squids. They cook very quickly. Literally 5 minutes and my dish was ready. I'm putting it on the plate. And my plate is a shell from a giant mollusk tridacna that I ate a few days ago. No need to overdo it. A small squid cooks in just a few minutes. So, oh wow. Here's the delicious dish I made. But something's still missing. A little pepper and some lime juice. Now it's perfect. Well, friends, let's try what I've made. It looks very appetizing. Juicy, not overcooked, good. I will eat the small squids first. Oh, this piece is already a bit juicier. Very good, very good. Soft. Very tender, juicy. Wow. the little eye. I can confidently say that this was one of the most delicious dishes I've managed to cook on uninhabited islands. And of course, you must always remember to wash the dishes right after you're done. First of all, it's much harder to do when it dries up. And secondly, food scraps will attract flies and other insects, which there are already plenty of here. Now I will take parchment paper for cooking. Now I will need the fish I caught and the ink that I collected from the squids and cuttlefish last night. Now we will make geotaku. This is a Japanese technique of drawing your catch using only natural materials. First, I fix the fish in the sand. I wipe the front side of the fish with a napkin and beautifully spread its fins. Using the napkin, I apply squid ink to the surface of the fish, evenly over its entire surface, but I need to remove any excess ink. Now I carefully press the paper on top and gently press with my fingers over the entire surface. And I realize that parchment paper is not very suitable for this, but I don't lose hope. I will take a regular napkin and do the same. I apply it and press it thoroughly. And I end up with this small picture of my catch as a memento. This napkin needs to be dried, placed in a small frame, and hung at home so I can later remember the catch on my next uninhabited island. And the most important thing is that this ink is a natural product and completely non-toxic. Now the fish just needs to be washed, cooked, and eaten. And thank you so much for watching, my friends. If you enjoyed this series, subscribe to my channel. Share this video with your friends, and don't miss the new episodes. Goodbye, everyone, and don't forget to like this video, but only if you liked it.